4.1 million people searched the same question last month. Why does it hurt when they move on before you? Not when they say it, not when they explain it, just when they post it. Because the breakup isn't when they leave. It's when they show that they've arrived somewhere new, with someone else. A tagged shoulder, a blurry dinner photo, a caption with no name but 2 forks and a comment that says, "You deserve this." It's called the soft launch, but it lands hard when it's not you. Because here's the thing, she never posted me. I was never soft launched. I was barely even whispered into her grid. No candlelit dinner, no matching playlists, just unsaved stories and a camera roll I never got to see. Then one day, there he was, in the same coffee shop where we used to sit. In the same angle I once took, only this time her smile was in the frame too. No name, no tag, just him, and I watched it not once, but 7 times. Each replay felt like a ghost of the life I almost had. It didn't feel like heartbreak. It felt like narrative displacement. Like watching someone else step into the movie I thought we were writing together. Then she posted a quote, "Right person, right time, everything just fits." And I realized I wasn't even part of her wrong time. I was never part of her story at all. Maybe that's what hurts the most. Not that she left, but that I was never acknowledged as something worth losing. That was the moment I understood. Some people don't break up with you. They just delete the draft. It's funny. She never posted me, but she made sure I saw, like she curated the heartbreak, like she storyboarded my humiliation, a personalized algorithm of emotional collapse. I didn't need closure. She gave me content. Welcome to my TED Talk. How to be someone's almost and still end up watching the highlight reel. I was never Instagrammable enough, apparently. Too blurry. Too behind the scenes. Not aesthetically cohesive with her grid. But he got the candlelight and the captions. He got the "can't believe I get to love you" post. I got a meme. She sent me a meme the night after we stopped talking, and it wasn't even good. It was one of those pixelated, overshared ones that says, "If he wanted to, he would." Cool. Was that for me, or just me being overly self-aware again? I meditate now, for like 90 seconds. Usually while doom scrolling. I light a candle, not for self-care, for vibes. Because if I'm sad in good lighting, maybe I'll look less tragic. I tried posting something cryptic, like she used to. You know, black screen, Bon Iver lyrics, low battery in lowercase. But nobody DM'd me, not even her, so I deleted it, but not before checking who viewed it. And yes, she saw it. Why is that the new form of intimacy? She doesn't talk to me, but she sees me. She's seen every story, except the one where I asked her to stay. Wait, did I even ask her to stay? Or was I too busy being agreeable? Too busy being... She used to say I was easy to talk to. I thought it was a compliment. Now I realize it just meant I was easy to leave. There's this moment, you know the one, when you're typing something vulnerable, really opening up, and then you just backspace it all and send "ha" instead. That's what our entire relationship felt like. Like a thread of unsent texts. Like a punchline with no setup. Like a secret joke only she knew was real. She once told me she liked my vibe. I'm starting to think vibe is just what people call you when they don't want to commit to defining you. Or loving you. I think I was her rehearsal. And now I'm the blooper reel. Unposted, uncredited, unseen, except when she wants to remind me she's moved on. But sure, let's laugh. Let's laugh at the irony. Let's laugh at the fact that I kept refreshing my feed, hoping for a glitch in her happiness. Let's laugh at the fact that I still save her stories. Let's laugh at the fact that I call it closure when it's just digital masochism. I post now too. Photos of coffee, sunsets, books I don't read, smiles that don't belong to anyone in particular, because if I look like I'm okay, maybe she'll believe I never wasn't. Or maybe I'll start to believe it too, because the thing about being funny is nobody checks if you're okay when you're laughing. And lately, I'm exhausted from being the punchline in a story I thought I was co-writing. But here's the joke. She never posted me, but she posted him at the same restaurant, where she told me she didn't believe in labels. Did you sleep? Barely. That was the last conversation. No period, no emoji, just that. And I think about that sometimes. The way our endings didn't sound like endings. Just two people tapering off, like music fading under static. She never said goodbye. She just muted the thread. It's strange how someone can matter so much and still never be acknowledged publicly. She once told me she wasn't the posting type, said things were better when kept private, said she wanted to protect what was real. And I believed her. I never asked to be posted. I just wanted to be known. There was a night, late October, we walked through a night market, arms barely touching. She bought incense and I bought nothing. We sat on a bench and didn't speak for 10 minutes, but it felt like everything was understood. No photo, no proof. Just, she used to send me songs, half-finished playlists. Once she left a comment on one. This one is you. I still don't know what that means, but I kept the playlist. Until last week, when I opened it and saw she had deleted every track. Except one. Phoebe Bridgers. I know the end. The irony wasn't lost on me. Last week I saw her post a carousel, her hand, a man's silhouette, a dog that wasn't hers. I stared at that second photo longer than I should have, because I knew the reflection in the wine glass. It was the same table we sat at 6 months ago. And I remember thinking, so this is what it feels like to be edited out of someone's life. I was never the ex. I was the almost, the maybe, the in-between, the one who knew her favorite candle scent, but not her last name on Venmo. A week later, she changed her profile picture, something softer, warmer, not her usual muted tones. And I remembered this thing she once said in passing. I want to be the kind of person people feel safe posting. It stung, because now she was, but not with me. We never fought, we just stopped being careful with each other. And that absence, the one you can't explain to friends, is somehow lonelier than being left. She kept my hoodie, a blue one, oversized, the kind you only wear to bed, or on Sundays when you don't plan on leaving the house. I don't know if she still has it, or if wears it now, but I think about it way more than I should, because I never said I loved her. But I knew the exact kind of silence she used when she was pretending not to cry. I never asked for a soft launch. I just wanted to be remembered. They said she was private, but privacy looks different when you're the one being kept invisible. She didn't hide me out of respect. She denied me to protect the story she was saving for someone else. That someone is him now. The guy who gets soft-lit date nights and hard-launch confidence. The guy who shows up in the places I softened for her. He gets the credit, I got the caution. Let's call it what it was. I wasn't a secret. I was a silence she didn't want to explain. They say love doesn't need to be posted. Then why did she post him like a goddamn announcement? Like a trophy she earned? Like a version of love clean enough to show off? You want real? Here's real. I memorized her laugh before I ever knew her last name. I waited outside her class just to walk her to the train. I held my tongue when she told me she wasn't ready for anything serious, only to find out 3 weeks later she was suddenly very ready for him. So don't tell me it wasn't personal. It was curated. I was the rough draft she needed to make the story flow better for him. That's the part nobody talks about. The erasure, the quiet ghosting of someone who was never loud enough to be heard. She once told me, "You're easy to talk to." Translation, you're safe enough to unload on, but not worthy of showing off. And I believed that, because I thought my softness would be seen as strength. Instead, it was used against me. Like I was a test drive for the emotional intimacy she finally gave to someone who looked better parked beside her. I was there when her mom went into surgery. I held her hand outside a Walgreens while she cried over something she didn't explain. And she had the audacity to caption his photo, "Safe, seen, home." Nah, that's not heartbreak. That's psychological warfare. And what's wild is, I'm not mad she moved on. I'm mad she built our memories into a blueprint, then handed it to him like a floor plan. You know how many times I opened her story and paused on the frame? The frame with that wine glass I know she only drinks from when she's nervous. He was across the table, his arm in frame, the candle I once lit, now flickering for someone else. That's not a soft launch. That's a deliberate burn. And here's what I'm done with. Being told that my reaction is too much just because I finally said the thing out loud. No more pretending I didn't matter. No more clapping quietly for a performance I helped write but never got credit for. I don't need to be easy to love. I need to be impossible to erase. So if she ever checks my page, let her see someone who survived being deleted and still found the courage to rewrite himself. Because I wasn't hidden, I was denied. And now I'm done apologizing for noticing. The morning light came in softer than usual. It touched the corner of my desk where her mug used to sit. Chipped rim, faded design. I still have it, not because I drink from it, but because I can't bring myself to throw it out. I sat still for a while, let the silence stretch, the kind of quiet that feels like it's saying something back. There's no real timestamp for when I started healing. No epiphany, no bold Instagram quote with a beige background. Just stillness. I think I used to confuse closure with confrontation, like I needed her to admit I mattered. But I don't anymore. Lately, I've been cleaning my apartment without playing music, just letting the sounds exist. The hum of the fridge, the scrape of a chair, the clink of a glass in the sink. I used to fill every quiet space because I was scared of what I'd hear inside it. Now I let it echo. Yesterday, I found a note I had written to myself but never opened. It said, "Stop trying to be the person someone else sees. Start being the person you want to come home to." I don't even remember writing it, but it felt like something true. There's this memory I keep returning to, her sitting cross-legged on my couch, telling me how she wanted to move to Lisbon, how she needed space, how love for her felt like gravity she was always trying to escape. I nodded, said I understood. But inside, I was building a whole life in my head. One where we figured it out, where Sunday mornings were real, where her hand stayed in mine long enough to believe it meant something. That's the hardest part about letting go. Not the person, but the story you wrote around them. The rooms you imagined, the laughter in the kitchen, the plants you would have kept alive together. It wasn't a breakup. It was a quiet collapse of an imaginary future. But I'm learning that grief doesn't always look like crying. Sometimes it looks like dusting off shelves, taking the long route home, turning your phone face down and actually meaning it. Today, I sat by the window. The sheer curtain moved just enough to remind me that wind still finds a way in. And I whispered, without expectation or audience, "Thank you for what never was." Because some healing doesn't announce itself. It just shows up in the mirror one morning, in the way your chest doesn't tighten at the sound of their name, in the way you no longer chase ghosts through glass screens, in the way you can finally say, "She never posted me, but I don't need to be seen to feel real." I poured water into a glass, only halfway, and that was enough. Some stories don't end, they just stop being told out loud. Still, I thought forgetting would feel like silence, but it just feels like space. Enough. I stopped checking her profile the day I realized I deserved to not be a secret. And even if she never posted me, I still existed, fully, quietly, and with love. Healing isn't about replacing the memory, it's about no longer needing it to prove something. An open journal with a blank page turned halfway, a half-empty glass of water reflecting morning light, a phone screen resting face down beside a window. A hoodie folded neatly on a chair no one sits in anymore. Maybe she didn't post me because I wasn't part of her story, but that doesn't mean I wasn't part of mine. Thank you for listening, even if you've never said a word, if you've ever been someone's almost. I hope you know that doesn't make you any less whole. You are not the absence in someone else's spotlight. You are the presence in your own quiet becoming. Subscribe, share, and whisper this story forward, not for the algorithm, but for someone healing in secret.